Good morning and welcome to Lessons from My Trail. It's been a little while since I've been out here. With it being summer, I've been in my garden more than in the woods. But I saw an owl perched up in the trees and was just thinking about how marvelously camouflaged it was, and how the only reason I saw it is because it moved and it caught my eye. And that got me thinking about people and how we camouflage. And I was thinking that mostly we camouflage ourselves. We fit into the surroundings so we don't stand out by with our behavior. And I was thinking about how camouflage helps you hide. And so I'm really into shadow work and supporting people to do shadow work. And that owl just reminded me, like, there are so many parts of ourselves that we are hiding from the world, that we don't let people see, because at some point in our life, the world around us made us feel like it wasn't an acceptable part of ourselves. Maybe people made comments and said, oh, you're too loud, or you're too sensitive, or you're too angry, or you're too boisterous. Like, there are these parts of ourselves that we kind of tuck away and keep hidden from the world and from ourselves, because at something happened in our life, some point or multiple things, that made us feel like that's not an acceptable part of us to show the world, to be with. And the problem with that is that we can't be our whole and happy self if there are parts of us that we don't feel like are acceptable, and that we can't show anyone. That makes us feel like we're incomplete, and it brings this feeling of sadness and discontent, because it's not like we're fake, but we are only showing the world part of who we are. And even if those parts of us, maybe we need to learn a way of expressing them that is different, that is more easeful to be around, we still need to be able to connect with that part of us and express it in some way. And so one of our emotions that helps us connect with our shadow is hatred or adoration. So if you wanted to take a look at some of those things that you might have tucked away, think about the things, the characteristics that you either really don't like. Think about other people, things you don't like complainers, or people who talk too much, or also in the adoration department, where, like, oh my God, people who are really speak their mind with strength and conviction. Like, maybe you adore that in people. You can kind of know that if you're putting people either, like, below you, like, that's a terrible way to act, I would never act that way, or above you, and like, oh my God, I wish I could behave like that because that's amazing. There's a piece of you that you have tucked away that is like that, and perhaps needs some of your attention to reconnect with and discover some of the gifts of that behavior. Even those behaviors that we think of as terrible, there's usually some kind of gift in them if we were to connect with them and learn to be with them in a way that wasn't outwardly offensive to other people, you know? Like a complainer, like maybe we need to complain sometimes. That's good for our consciousness. And if we never allow ourselves to complain, there may be things in our life that we really need to let go of, but we're not even allowing ourselves to think of the challenges with it. We just keep focusing on the good and keep moving forward. And so I invite you to step into a little of that shadow work and look at those pieces of yourselves that you might have tucked away and how they could now support you and how you could embrace them differently. Oh, I see a beautiful deer. That's lovely. All right, have a beautiful day.